Hi guys, what's up? Zax here. Today we are here with round 5 of the Go-Karting Championship held at Filching Manor every month, pretty much. And today we are here, sadly only 4 people on the grid this time. Harry in the red helmet, which you can see there. My dad in the white helmet and blue overalls. Myself in the blue helmet and blue overalls. And you can see there Joe with the blue overalls and black helmet. So, if you want to rewind that and see who I said, you can go and do so accordingly. But yeah, only 4 people, and this is qualifying, just to let you know. 10-minute session to try and decide who is going to be on pole position. And you can see Harry, who had actually a pretty good last round that he actually came to. He actually had a pretty good round. I think he finished 4th in both races, which was his best ever points haul, which was good for him. And Harry, going into this round, currently sits on 28 points. And he missed a couple of rounds, so unfortunately for him, he missed 2 rounds, and pretty much everyone else only missed 1. So you may notice Ben, second place in the championship, is actually not racing here either. He couldn't make today, unfortunately for him. And also Tom, you might realise, missing this round. The first round he's actually missed. Apart from that, along with me, he had done every other round so far, so it was unfortunate for Tom. It had just actually been his birthday as well, and he came down with an illness which sort of meant that he couldn't race, which is a bit unfortunate for him. But he will be back in the next round. He is coming next time, so that is good. And I think the entry list, if you will, for the next round, because actually, it's been quite a short interval between the round you're watching here and the next round we're going to do, which is going to be actually tomorrow as you watch this. Yeah, it's going to be then, and the confirmed entry list so far is myself, my dad, Job, Harry, and also Tom. Ben was going to make it, but he unfortunately had to pull out at the last minute, which is unfortunate for him, meaning most likely he's going to fall down outside the top 4 in a championship, which is not good for him, considering he came into round 5 in the top 2 and with a chance of actually challenging for the championship. But it leaves me as the only person that will ever, still might not, but ever will be, entering every single round of this season. Qualifying really isn't too interesting, so I haven't really got a huge amount to talk about, but I've tried to do a bit of interesting stuff with the editing. You can see now on the left hand side is myself and the right hand side is my dad, if you didn't realise already. But I've tried to sort of zoom it in a little bit, the sort of recording, so hopefully it looks better. It does mean that like the left hand side of my screen, the right hand side of my dad's screen is slightly cut off, but it doesn't really look too different. I mean, obviously you can see it's been cut off slightly, but it means that you get sort of a clearer view of the actual karts and the footage. And I don't think it matters too much, but obviously missing maybe a little bit off was a bit annoying. But a very hard mistake there for myself. Well, it was a hard accident. That sounds so stupid. I went into sort of like a pothole, if you will. It's like a pothole that you might run through in like a car, and I ran through it in a go-kart. It really wasn't fun. A couple of laps with a painful back. And now it meant I had to get back in the slipstream on my dad, who was very fast this round, I've got to say. This might be the best he's ever driven. Unfortunately, as with most karting, it's down to who has the best kart at the end of the day. And you can see here, I thought my dad was on the inside, so I left him space, but he was thinking about it too. So really close stuff in qualifying, and you probably shouldn't really do stuff like this in qualifying. It's always easy to say in hindsight that you shouldn't do this, but once you're in the battle, you always want to get the overtake done. I think there's only been like 1 instance ever whilst I've been karting that I've actually just waited up, just because I didn't want to get involved in a battle. Even if I had a chance of going for pole, I still sometimes messed it up by trying to get involved in battles, which was a little bit silly on my part. But you do these things when you're racing around the track. But I was just thinking, I'm hoping to do a season 2 of this next year. I'm really hoping this is going to be a thing that we can do for a long time. Obviously we're all friends, and obviously my dad in the party as well, if you will. Yeah, we're all friends. We all went to school together, so we all know each other. So I think it can be something we can continue on for more years. But we're thinking for next year to possibly broaden it out into maybe other tracks. Maybe do a couple of tracks around our area. I mean, Filching Manor is the closest one. Lid is about 1.5 hours away, and I'm not sure, but my dad said Buckmore Park isn't that far away as well. So those could be 3 tracks that we could do. Maybe do Filching Manor maybe 5 or 6 times, and then do the others 2 times each or something. You know, something like that, just to mix it up a little bit. That's what I'm thinking, just to make it a little bit more interesting for the, you know, for you guys watching. I mean, it's probably not too fun watching the same track every time, but we also were thinking, you know, to change up the rules for next year. But you know, obviously we've set the rules for this season at the start of the season, so we can't really go back on them now. That would be quite sort of well, I suppose we sort of did in a way. We changed the point system, but that wasn't too big. It was just a small adjustment. But you know, changing points ideas and stuff for the end of the season, probably best to do that at the start of the season. So in terms of next season and the ideas we had, so we had the idea to go to different tracks. We also had the idea to do it so your 2 lowest race finishes will like be excluded, if that makes any sense, like 2 drop scores. That's what they do in real karting and some forms of car racing as well. So we're thinking of doing drop scores for next year. And also I'm thinking about, you know, maybe broadening the coverage. This you know, that it's got, obviously we've got 2 cameras here, but I'm just thinking maybe we could find another one or something. You know, that sounds so stupid. Find one, buy another one, maybe increase the coverage or something like that. Hopefully Harry and Job will be buying, you know, a helmet of some sort, so we can have the cameras on there. But actually, I'm hoping that for this next round, Tom will be wearing the camera and I'll be wearing the camera. Well, we'll see what qualifying's like. I mean, if qualifying's between my dad and Tom, for example, I'll put the 2 cameras on them. At the end of the day, I just want the 2 cameras on the 2 fastest people, or you know, people that will be in good battles. For example, say it's Harry versus Job and they both got a helmet. I'll be happy to you know, use, because we've got some extra GoPro mounts, put the camera on their heads. But I'm not sure what happened here with my dad. He was looking down at his steering wheel, and while I studied on that on the left hand side of the screen, I hit that big bump again, which really isn't good for the car. And I'm wearing, you can see I normally wear my red gloves, but this time I'm wearing my white gloves, which I got recently. It's because my red gloves are actually sort of starting to lose the pattern on the bottom of them, so the grip isn't as good. But I did find the white gloves, they're not as good. They have nowhere near the amount of padding of the red ones. So I'm going to be reverting back to the red gloves, and I probably will still take the white gloves, you know, along with me, because, you know, just in case the red ones are, you know, uncomfortable for any sort of reason. Maybe it's like a really hot day. The white ones are quite a lot thinner because they're a cheaper glove. I don't know why. I seem to be a bit obsessed with gloves. At one point, I had, I think, 3 pairs of gloves for karting. I've got 2 pairs of gloves now. Still seems a bit silly. But you know, I love go-karting. It's one of the things I do look forward to every month, and you know, meeting up, you know, my friends again. You know, unfortunately, school and everything stopped. I mean, Harry, you know, I didn't really get to see Harry a huge amount because he stopped going to our school. I don't know whether this is getting all boring, but you know, karting is pretty much the only time I ever get to see Harry and Job now, and you know, so it's nice to catch up. And hopefully this will be something that we can continue on into the future. I do sort of feel a bit sorry for Harry because he always gets stuck with a pretty terrible kart. You know, in all reality, you can say, oh, it's just Harry, but at the end of the day, the one time he did have a good kart, he was, you know, he was ahead of my dad, and you can see the good kart does make a difference most of the time. But over recent races, I've had a bit of an up and down spree. Actually, I've got the scoreboard next to me here. The first round I scored 30 points, the second round I scored 27, then in the third round I scored 32, then the fourth round I scored 22. So, you know, going to this round I had 111 points. So I was about 25 points ahead of Ben. No, that's not 25 points. 35 points ahead of Ben. Sorry, oh dear, that was just a rookie maths error there. 35 points ahead of Ben, 46 ahead of Job. So yeah, you know, I had a pretty decent sized lead in the championship going into this round, but it was very easy to lose that. I mean, one off weekend, as Ben shows, you know, one weekend where you're, for example, not there, can really just take you out of the equation. And Tom has been the most consistent point scorer. First round 16 points, second round 14, third round 14, and then fourth round 15. So very consistent, amassing 59 points in those 4 rounds. There's qualifying results for you. I took the pole position from my dad, Job and Harry, and here is race number 1. Lights are out, away we go. On the left hand side of the screen is obviously me, right hand side of the screen is my dad. Going up to turn 1, who is going to get the lead? It's going to be 3 wide, I can tell you that. We're going to turn 1. Job gets the sprint into turn 1. He gets the lead of the race. Harry jumps up to 3rd position. My dad drops down to 4th position from 2nd place on the grid. The big mover is actually going to be Job. The big faller is going to be my dad, dropping from 2nd to 4th. Job going from 3rd to 1st. Harry making up 1 position. Harry goes sideways ever so slightly. You can see that grip not in the cart now. Following Job up through the fast right-hander. Can't really get into the place where I can overtake Job. Oh, he's squeezing me. Oh, that could have been an accident, but I had to back out of it there. I probably could have thrown it up the inside, but I really don't want to be causing an accident with the championship lead. I'd rather stay behind at this current stage, and my dad has nothing to lose, sort of slightly down there in the championship in comparison where I think he should be. He's really just going on the attack, really flying through that final corner. He's got a great run. He's looking to the inside of Job. Job sees him. They're side by side. Oh my goodness, that was close racing. No contact. That is really, really good racing. You're probably not going to see that all that often in this championship, just because normally it's quite spread out. But this is where maybe the championship turns, maybe, and the racing gets a lot closer. And there we are. Really, really good stuff from my dad to get past Job into the lead of the race. And now I've got to find a way past. This is where I've got to really, not lose my time. My dad hasn't won a race as of yet. His best result, I think, is a 3rd. So he's going to be looking for points wherever he can. And I tried to get down the inside of Job there, but I just couldn't get it done. And that was a big mistake on my part. Lost some time. You can see my dad is pulling away. Job makes a mistake, going a bit too tight to the corner and losing him time. My dad is pulling away every second. He's pulling a little bit more gap. And I'm trying to get my way past Job. Job really just isn't making it easy for me, and he doesn't need to, but it's really hard for me to keep up with Job here. And oh, does he make a slight mistake there? Yes, he does. Nearly running into the back of him. That could have been really dangerous there with Job, but luckily no contact as of yet. But here we are, back on the attack again, going up to the top corner. Are we going to be able to go down the inside of Job? It's going to be close. I've got the move done, but I've ran off the track full lock to the right hand side, getting on the track really badly, and that was just a mistake on my part. It meant that really I just lost the position to Harry and Job there. Really a big fail on my part, just losing a huge amount of time. Harry doesn't make it too hard for me to get back past him though, so back past him and then up into P3 once again, with my dad still leading from Job in 2nd, and then I'm in 3rd. And really, at the moment, I've got nothing to lose, and my dad has got so much to gain. This can really help him out in the championship. Could even get him close to bed in the championship. That's going to be something to watch out for. My dad really is putting his foot down, literally, and he's closing on possibly his best result of the championship so far. But we're catching up to the back of Job. Are we going to be able to get the move done into the slipstream? Job, he's not exactly the easiest driver to overtake because he is always late on the brakes. He's never afraid to squeeze you out. Maybe risky driving from time to time, but this time Job just about gets around without any dramas. Now, am I going to be able to find a way past going to the bottom corner of the track? We seem to have got some momentum. I seem to have lost my sort of overtaking ability in this round. I really have not been forceful with my overtakes. In the other rounds, I literally have been, not to toot my own horn, but I probably have been the best overtaker in some of the rounds so far, and really not the case so far. If anyone, the best overtaker this race by far is my dad, getting the nearly double move. Job getting it sideways. He saw me probably in the corner of his eye there, making a mistake on his part, and now trying to go side by side. Oh, yes we are. That was not good stuff. Job nearly squeezing me into the wall. That is not fair racing, I've got to tell you that. Would that be a penalty in real life? Probably. Especially if his name was Maldonado, we'd definitely be getting a penalty. But my dad has got a massive lead now. It's probably up to around 10 seconds. It's crazy how much slower Job is in this race. Job has won a race this season, but we've made the move around the outside. We're going to make it stick. Yes, we are. We run onto the outside. Wow. That move started at the top of the track. Took me about half the lap to do it, but once I finally got the overtake done, it was a bit of an amazing overtake in my opinion. It started at this point of the track here. I got so much more speed going wide, and momentum just flowed down the track, and wow, it was probably up there in one of my best overtaking moves I've ever done, and that really just took my breath away there, screaming and shouting that much. But you know, I'm happy with that move. I'll replay that back a couple of times. But anyway, we have now got to try and charge and try and catch my dad. The gap maybe isn't quite 10 seconds. Maybe I was being a bit optimistic with that. Maybe it's probably around 6, 7, 8 seconds, that sort of mark. It's definitely not the sort of the gap that I would like. Obviously I'd rather have a tiny gap to catch up to, but my dad driving very well, and I'm not going to take it away from him. He did some very good lap times whilst I was stuck behind Job, and whilst I made my mistake going into the barriers very nearly. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm happy that I got the move done. I'm obviously not happy that I was stuck behind Job and didn't hit the barriers, but I'm happy that when I got the move done, it was a good move. It wasn't like a stupid move, you know, crashing into him or whatever. So, you know, that's that. But I'm definitely trying to close the gap down now, and I love this race. I'll replay this race back many a time. There's some really good racing. I just really wish that the karts were all equal to see where we all are in comparison to each other. I mean, it's really hard to say, but I don't know whether it was during this race, but I actually got my fastest lap time I've ever got, 29.4. So we're getting there. I really want to get into the 28s at one point, but to find half a second is going to be quite hard. So yeah, 28s is the aim. Maybe on a sunny day with the perfect car, I might be able to get into the 28s, but it's all about momentum. And most of these karts, I'd say there's probably only about one that isn't, but most of them seem to slide through the middle of the corner and you just lose grip, and unless you're going all the time and knowing how to sort of counter that, it's really hard. So the gap seems to have come down here to about 5 seconds. Hard to precisely time it here, but I'd say it's around 5 seconds now. Probably about, I think it's, I'm going to guesstimate that was 6 seconds. That the original gap was probably about 8 seconds. So I've managed to pull the gap down, and I think this is when I might have been putting in my fastest laps ever. I mean, that 29.4, probably about 2 or so tenths of a second faster than I've ever gone before. So really, really good stuff. The gap, as you can see, is visibly coming down, and I'm on a charge here. The gap, I think now, is probably about 4 seconds. So, you know, this race, you know, it's pretty intense because I'm catching at such a rate, maybe 1.5, 2 seconds a lap, and you know, it's pretty much inevitable that I'm actually going to catch my dad here because I'm catching at such a rate here. I think it's just because I was so focused. I could see him in the distance. I'm like, well, if I want to, you know, win this race, I'm going to have to drive as fast as I've ever done before, and that's pretty much what I did. I had to drive as fast as I've ever done before, and it was just so nice just to get all the corners perfect, and that's pretty much what I did. You know, hitting a couple of the corners a bit too hard, maybe lost a couple of attempts here and there, but I could see the gap coming down, and I think, you know, it's unfortunate that we didn't really capture much of round 4, which was really annoying. I really didn't like the fact that the camera's lost battery, but this sort of makes up for it in a way for me at least. It probably doesn't for you guys, because round 4 race 2 was the best race I've ever been a part of, but this is right up there. To see the gap, I think, came down by another 2 seconds on that lap, and I'd say it's about 2 seconds now, probably not even that. It's probably about a second now. So I don't know whether my dad's feeling the pressure, because he was putting in some great lap times and now it seems to have fallen off the pace a bit. He did tell me after the race that he did have a, you know, he hit his arm on the seat, which is quite easy to do, especially if you've got long arms like me and him do, but he hit the elbow, which wasn't good. He had some really big bruises on it after the race, which is you know, not nice for him obviously, and hopefully they're all his arms are better for this round, because obviously this race, apparently the next round will be in damp conditions, so that's looking good. But we're looking for the move, but my dad doing a good job at defending, really good job. You know, I was like, well, if he's going to win his first race here, I don't want it to be a fluke. I want him to actually fight for it. And I know that's a bit of a horrible thing to say in a way, but I don't think my dad would have liked to win a race where I just let him win. I think he would have rather won like he did here. So we're going to see if that's going to happen, but we are extremely close here, going up down the back section. Are we going to be able to look for a move? No, my dad's defending once again. Really good stuff. We're going side by side ever so slightly. I think I might have just briefly taken the lead there. And right behind him here, I've got momentum. Can I capitalise on it? Not really. I couldn't do it there. I just couldn't get the overtake done. And final corner of the race, if I remember correctly here. My dad goes extremely wide. Are we going to be able to look for a move down the inside? We've got the slipstream. We're looking down the inside. Wow, what a close finish there. But that was it. That was the race over. That's probably the closest finish we've had all season long. I didn't win it. My dad won his first race of the season. I'm really happy for him. He definitely deserved it. He only missed one of the rounds, and he definitely deserved that. A great result for my dad. He definitely won. He definitely deserved that, and he definitely earned it properly. So there we are. There's the results. My dad wins from myself, Job, and Harry. And then here we are, the final race of the day, race 2. We get a really good start. Going up to the first turn, Job's up to second, and we're going side by side. Ooh, a little bit naughty from myself there. Harry actually got quite a good start. Sort of squeezed Job onto the grass there, which was not good. Nearly contact. Really close stuff here. Job, once again, really good start. Job knows how to start a go-kart. He's very good at that. And maybe the rainy conditions, that's going to help. Are we going to look for the inside? No, there's not really an opportunity to overtake, but Job spins it, as does Harry. And, well, that's unfortunate for both of them. I think Job's was only a half spin, Harry's was a full spin. That was not good for either of them. That means they're going to be losing time, and obviously that means they're going to be way out of position for getting any solid points in this race. So then, we lead the race, and is this our opportunity to get a win? Obviously last time out we have not got a win, so that means I think I'm winless in 3 races. I haven't actually won a race the last 3 races, not 3 rounds, 3 races. I haven't won a race, so I'm really hoping that this is going to be a chance to shine. My dad doesn't seem to have the pace. For some reason I was thinking there that my dad was right behind me, but he seems to have lost a little bit of time there, which is not good for him. He wouldn't have been wanting to lose that much time off the start, so he's going to be trying to fight back, maybe hoping that I'm going to make a mistake. But really, at this time, I'm just like, I can't lose any more points in this championship. Well, I suppose I've got a massive lead really in comparison, but oh, my dad's gone for a spin. Sorry, I didn't really focus on that. My dad's gone for a spin, and Job and Harry have gone through there. I must have been thinking, why is my dad facing the wrong way? And wow, that was crazy stuff. Sorry I reacted to that late because I wasn't really paying attention to my dad's side of the screen, but it was so close. He got nearly tagged by Job, and if he was hit by Job, that would not have been good. I think we had an instance with it. I don't think it was the first round, but I think it was last year when we were just doing like races for, well, obviously we're still doing it for fun, but when we were just doing it, without any scoring or anything, my dad had a big crash and he was going side by side with Job, and there was a big accident there into that tyre wall. And yeah, I was wondering, why my dad had dropped back. I looked at the top of the hill because I normally, when I'm going around the top hairpin, just have a quick look, glance to see where everyone is. But yeah, as you saw, my dad, well, it's nearly a lap ago now, but my dad looked at the tyre wall, so you could see that the tyres were everywhere. Luckily, Ashley didn't get injured anymore there, because that was not looking good. He did sort of slide into the tyres. The tyres are a slight bit on the track there, but it doesn't really matter too much. They do a good job at Filching Manor, trying to get you back on the track as fast as possible. They don't sort of call you into the pits if you've made a mistake. They understand you're going to make mistakes, so just try and learn from them instead of getting told off. So that's good. But you can see now on my dad's side of the screen, catching up with Harry. That's going to be for P3. Harry hasn't actually got a podium at all this year, I don't think. His his best position, I think, is, it's a 4th position over. I guess it's the 4th. Well, it's obviously 4th position now, but I think he got 2 4th positions before he got to this event. So Harry's best results are 3 4th place finishes now. So he's having a good season. I mean, he isn't as competitive as Job in a way, so he doesn't risk it as much as Job. But Harry is getting faster. I mean, we saw that in round 3, which was the last event Harry took part in. He was very fast. He finished ahead of Tom and my dad in both those races. So Harry, he's definitely got the speed. He just needs the confidence and the kart to be able to go for it. But you can see there he's defending. He's not just letting my dad through. He's left a bit of a gap. So some sort of mistakes like that where you can learn from. But Harry doing a good job at defending here. It's not exactly easy. Obviously my dad won the last race, so he's not going to be the easiest person to defend from. But Harry does a good job. And I forgot to tell you guys, I can't even remember what I actually have, but my dad goes over the curb there, launching himself over the curb, and he told me after the race that was painful. Looking back on the footage as well, I looked at it on the computer with him, and he was like, "Yep, that did hurt. That wasn't fun, going over the curb and making a little ramp for myself." But yeah, I forgot to tell you guys, and it's not like mega important news, but I thought it was interesting news. We've actually got trophies for this championship now. I spent my own money. Nobody else spent any money. I spent the money on getting trophies, and I thought it was just a nice thing. I mean, everyone here I'm good friends with, and obviously my dad has, he got me into karting, he got me into motorsport. I've got a lot to thank him for. So, and obviously being my dad. So yeah, I just wanted to be, thankful and grateful to everyone, because obviously, I don't know whether you guys really know, but at school I was the shy person. I don't really talk that much, and doing YouTube seems very weird, comparison to how shy I was at school. But I've got a lot to thank these guys for. I know it sounds really cheesy in a way, but I didn't have a huge amount of friends at school, but the friends I did have were really nice. That sounds super stupid, really nice, but got a lot to thank them for. We've all been through the same situations at school, so getting through it together in a way. So yeah, I decided to spend a bit of my own money. It wasn't exactly cheap, because obviously getting nice trophies isn't cheap, but I thought it'd be nice for everyone to have like sort of an achievement at the end of the year to show that they were dedicated to take part in the series. So yeah, I got first, second, and third as like a big trophy. It's not like a big trophy, I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of first is like a 30cm trophy, then second's like 20, and third's like 10. Then you've got little sort of bowl trophies for fourth and fifth, and then sixth and seventh have sort of like a little star trophy. Then eighth, ninth, and 10th have medals, just because I wanted to make sure that the person at the top got the best trophy, and then the person at the bottom obviously didn't get the best trophy, just because showing that you tried harder. That sounds so stupid, but trying harder and being dedicated to as many events as possible. And currently the people that will be getting the medals are the people that only attended like 1 or 2 rounds, so it's understandable. I don't want to be spending lots of money on people that only attended 1 round. So people like myself obviously are going to get, well, I'm aiming for number 1, but who knows what's going to happen in this championship. Still a lot to play for. Next round will be the midpoint of the season. We'll see how everything stacks up there. But yeah, so we've also got the fastest lap. So you see my dad saying sorry there because he hit the back of me. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. So we're not the fastest lap. The most pole positions has got a trophy. Most race wins has got a trophy. And also the trophy for, what was it, best overtaker, which I'm going to decide. I'm not going to take best overtaker for myself, even if I was the best overtaker, but I'm going to be judging who the best overtaker of the year was and giving them the trophy for best overtaker. And actually, maybe it's even better, maybe I don't take the role of best overtaker, but you don't vote for me, but in the comment section of the video you can vote for who is the best overtaker, not just the 3 other people in this race, but who in the whole championship has been the best overtaker. So you got Ben, Job, Tom, Harry, my dad, Will, Ryan, or James. Which one of those has been the best overtaker? If you get this far into the video, please leave a comment. That'd be really nice, and I'll be very thankful of that. I'll probably do this on later in the. I probably might even do it in the penultimate round, also who is the best overtaker. I might do a sort of thing at the start of the video, showing the trophy and everything. So yeah, be sure to leave your comments down below. But I think we've got 2 laps left now. Maybe 2. Yeah, I think it's 2 laps left of this race now. Maybe 3 actually. I think it's 2. But on course for another win. Sorry I haven't really talked about this race, but it hasn't been too exciting. But I don't know how I end up talking for half an hour. I mean, as I said, I'm quite a quiet person in real life, and I really keep my opinions to myself, mostly just because I don't really want to get involved in loads of rubbish, which most people do, just to get attention and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't know how I end up talking for like half an hour sometimes, just because I'm not normally the person with the big mouth. Anyway, I'm coming up to lap Harry for a second time now, who I think has had one big error. I think he had a big slide off at the top corner, which wasn't good for him. And maybe this is even the last lap, I'm not even too sure, I'm being stupid. And here we are, battling with Harry. Are we going to get the checkered flag? I think we did. And I think that was the checkered flag there. I think. Maybe not. I don't know. I think this maybe isn't the last lap. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just being stupid. But so yeah, thanks again guys for tuning in. I'm sorry I've rambled on. Hopefully it's been enjoyable. I mean, this series has got a lot of great viewers, and I'm so thankful that you guys actually want to tune in and watch these, as these do take a long time to make. But you know, the audience that these videos get is just so I'm so thankful of everything that YouTube has done for me. Obviously YouTube hasn't done this for me, you guys have done this for me. I'm so thankful of the support that I've been given. Obviously I'm not really as outspoken as most people, so maybe people don't want to subscribe as much as you know other channels, and I'm not as maybe I don't have the best voice for commentary, but I just got so much to thank you guys for just tuning into these videos, and it makes me really happy that you enjoy my videos, and I'm so thankful, and I will forever be, even if I don't make videos forever. Anyway, there's the results from that race. I win from Job. My dad finishes 3rd after a spin, and Harry finishes 4th, sorry. The overall standings, myself on 143, then Job on 87, Ben on 76, then my dad on 73, then it's Tom, Will, Harry, James and Ryan. That is your top 9. A 10th person might be coming in the 7th round, so yeah, we'll see that. But anyway guys, thanks for tuning in. Massive thanks to everyone for watching. It's been Alex, I'm out of here. Goodbye.